Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric, and this is an update from what I talked about yesterday. So yesterday I mentioned on video that there's a rumor from a Taiwan-based website saying that Nintendo will be releasing a Switch Pro or a new Switch hardware model first quarter of 2021. So this has been a rumor for quite some time. There's been various websites, business analysts. I was talking about this, and it's something that's been exciting. It seems like we've been talking about this for quite some time. An enhanced version of the Switch, probably with better hardware or better chips inside, better screen resolution. Everybody's been clamoring for this, and last year we got the Nintendo Switch Lite that was released. So now a new update in this, and a different source, a new leak, claims that Nintendo is considering 4K resolution compatibility for a new Switch Pro console in 2021, plus some major first-party and third-party support. But this just ain't any other source today. Today, this is Bloomberg. So, I think Bloomberg is pretty credible in the world compared to some random Taiwanese website or French retailer that's accidentally leaking stuff. So, we're going to look at this. This Bloomberg article, unfortunately, cost money to look at, but thankfully I went over to Game Rant, who talked about this, so we're going to look a little bit at Game Rant's article. You can see Nintendo rumored to be considering 4K for Switch Pro. New leaks claim Nintendo considering 4K resolution capability for new Switch Pro console in 2021, plus major first and third party support. So as the Nintendo Switch moves closer to being 4 years old, the rumors and interest around a new enhanced console continue to grow. After a report this week claiming that an upgraded version of the hybrid machine is in development for 2021, new rumors are suggesting that the Switch Pro, as it's being referred to, will potentially be more powerful than the original Switch. The story from Bloomberg reporter Takashi Mochizuki, pardon my Japanese, claims that Nintendo has been looking into 4K resolution for the Switch Pro and into the increased computing power that would be needed to support the increased pixel count. So real quick, let's talk out the board. If there is to be a 4K thing that's interesting, considering the new console generations upon us, 4K gaming is a thing that's going to be happening. 4K TVs, 4K streaming with Netflix, and it's just basically the current wave of the future. And I said this yesterday, and I know some people in my comments said Nintendo does not need to compete with anybody. They don't need to do anything with Sony or Microsoft to do anything. That Nintendo has always done its own thing and abided by its own rule of law. You're not wrong on that. Nintendo has always seemed to kind of not been into the whole direct competition against its competitors. And sometimes I feel that kind of cheapens the consoles as a whole. The consoles are always more inferior. They're always quite not up to date, like so many workarounds with the Wii U and the Switch as far as processing power and stuff like that. I'm not a big tech buff, so it doesn't bug me for the most part, but with this next console generation, I feel that Nintendo definitely needs to at least step it up a notch as far as power goes. So 4K would be quite interesting on this. I think it would be a smart move on their behalf to at least do something to that effect. But let's continue on. However, the report also states that the specifications for the Switch Pro are yet to be finalized, despite recent reports claiming it will start production in early 2021. The rumors come from people reported to have been briefed in on Nintendo's strategy, but who have asked to remain anonymous due to the secretive nature of the information. So apparently there's moles that are asking to be anonymous. People that are saying that they've been in production. I know a couple of years ago, a year or two ago, there was reports from business analysts in Japan and different Asian markets saying that a Switch Pro was being developed. Supposedly the pandemic halted this, also halted production of the regular Switch and the Switch Lite. It's been very scarce in the world of Nintendo hardware-wise, but could they be ramping up the production? It's fixing to be September. According to this first quarter of 2021, we should see something. There's reports of the management meeting coming up early September. Nintendo Direct is rumored to be happening this week. So who knows? Now, the leakers involved also claim that Nintendo will be supporting the Switch Pro with a wide range of first-party and third-party games aimed at a large breadth of players. The leaked report also speculates that the company's focus on the new machine could be behind the quieter-than-expected Switch lineup in 2020. So this is saying Nintendo's been pretty much quiet because they've been focusing on making this new Switch model. You know, we haven't had a Switch Nintendo Direct in like a year, just about. I think September 9th was the last one of 2019. So this is suggesting that maybe the silence is because they've been focusing on a more powerful model of the console. In particular, it wouldn't be surprising if The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is not planned for the console. That's fair right there. I think Nintendo still has a secret plan with Breath of the Wild announcement somehow, some form. I know the rumor was that the voice acting was done. I think that is true, even though people have debunked it. While the report is currently just rumor, Bloomberg's Takashi Mochizuki has correctly leaked info about Nintendo products in the past. So this guy has a credible track record for leaks. With the upcoming launch of the next generation PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X machines, Nintendo is going to face increasing competition for new sales, especially with more hardcore gamers. See, so this is talking about how, aside from the Series S, not the Series X, the new machines are specifically aimed at 4K resolution and increase in computing power, which will make it harder for third-party developers to make new titles work on the aging Switch hardware. The Switch is powered by the Tegra X1, which came back in 2015. So this is just basically an opinion right here that I actually believe in wholeheartedly. Third-party support is crucial to a console success. It's not, therefore, really necessary if you're a Switch fan. You know, we've gotten plenty of great titles on there, but going forward, if we want to see games like Cyberpunk and upcoming Rockstar games show up on Nintendo consoles, they're going to have to get some heavy power going on. So maybe this is suggested that they are working on an upgraded processing power, 4K resolution type of machine. This is interesting because, again, this rumor has been going around for quite some time. The report does suggest, and I'm going to read the actual snippet from... so that was Game Rant. We're going to look at Nintendo's My Nintendo News. And this is a quote from the article. And this is directly from the article. The release of the upgraded Switch would be coupled with or followed by a slew of games from Nintendo itself and related outside studios, that people said. Those games would address a wide range of players, from casual gamers seeking small doses of escapism to more devoted fans putting in marathon gaming sessions. The focus on next year's pipeline explains Nintendo's relatively quiet software release schedule so far this year, the people said. Directly quoted from Bloomberg, and here's the article. It's going to have me try to pay for a thing. So you can see right there, this is a credible source in my opinion. When Bloomberg's talking about this, I think it holds key. Again, Nintendo hasn't really announced anything. Nothing's popped up. I'm interested to see. I'm still taking stuff with a grain of salt, but the reason why I cover stuff like this and talk about it is that it's just interesting to speculate. It's actually quite fun, especially when you're still kind of like in the dark with what's going on. We only have, 3 days before the supposedly earliest turnaround time for Nintendo Direct. I think the prediction was August 28th, the 25th. Nothing's been out there. No shadow drops. In my opinion, Nintendo needs to announce something for this winter. Like now. Metroid Prime 4 was postponed a year or so ago. Breath of the Wild 2 has been teased, but nothing's been updated from it. The Zelda anniversary is coming up next year. Mario anniversary is up next month in September. It's been quiet over in the Big N. So when Bloomberg is starting to announce this is what makes it a little bit more credible of a rumor, in my opinion. I don't think Bloomberg would just throw something out there. So I'm hoping that this is true. I know some people in my comments were like, oh, I just bought a Switch. This is going to make me mad. But in order to compete, in order to proceed, get good titles from third parties, they can't keep doing 5-year-old ports 8-year-old ports. You know, there's only so many times you could have Skyrim and older titles like that brought over to your consoles. It's time to step up a little bit, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this rumor. Does Bloomberg hold a little bit more credence or credibility to this rumor? Do you still think it's just Jesus toast? Subscribe if you haven't already. I will be keeping posted on this. Appreciate all the support as of late. Please leave a like if you haven't already. That will help get this video out there. Thanks a lot as always, guys. Have a great day. Peace out.